The screech of tires on wet asphalt was the last sound I heard before everything went black. My sister's voice echoed in my skull like a bad dream I couldn't shake. I hope she gets in an accident tonight, saves us all the hassle. And then, nothing. No white light. No tunnel. Just a void that swallowed me whole.
But death,
It turns out, isn't the end, it's a goddamn reset button. And mine jammed right back to the morning of that rainy Tuesday, 3 months before the crash that was supposed to erase me. I bolted upright in my bed, gasping like I'd just surfaced from drowning. The sheets were tangled around my legs, the same faded blue ones from my cramped apartment in downtown Seattle. And the alarm clock blinked 7:15 a.m. in angry red digits. My heart hammered against my ribs, sweat soaking through my tank top. It wasn't a dream. The scar on my left knee from that hiking trip last summer? Still there. Faint and pink. The half-empty coffee mug on my nightstand, stained with yesterday's lipstick? Untouched since I'd set it down after arguing with Mom about Dad's latest business trip. This was real. I was 28 again. Penelope Hayes. The screw-up sister who'd clawed her way through community college and a dead-end marketing gig. Breathing in the stale air of a life I thought I'd lost. But I remembered dying. Every brutal second. The rain-slicked I-5 freeway. Merging lanes choked with rush hour idiots. My phone buzzing in the cup holder. Her text. Drive safe. Sis. Love you.
lies.
All of it. I'd swerved to avoid a phantom brake light, hydroplaned straight into the guardrail. The crunch of metal. The shatter of glass. Airbags exploding like accusations. And in the hospital, fading out on morphine, I'd overheard the nurses whispering about the anonymous tip that delayed the ambulance. Some sister called it in wrong, said it was a fender bender.
Chloe,
My baby sister, the golden child, the one who'd always played the victim while I cleaned up her messes. I stumbled to the bathroom mirror, splashing cold water on my face. Staring back was me, freckles across my nose, green eyes bloodshot from the phantom pain of that wreck. But sharper now, edged with something feral. Knowledge. I'd been betrayed, buried under family secrets deeper than the Puget Sound. Chloe hadn't just wished for my accident, she'd engineered it. For the inheritance. For the house in Bellevue our folks left us after Dad's heart attack that smelled like bad whiskey and worse decisions. Mom's cancer had eaten her alive 2 years back, and I'd been the one holding the morphine drip, whispering apologies for a life of hand-me-downs and half-truths. Chloe? She'd been at some sorority party, posting selfies with captions like living my best life blessed. That morning, I didn't call in sick. I dragged myself to the office, the fluorescent buzz of the open-plan floor at Apex Marketing feeling like a bad hangover. My cubicle was a shrine to mediocrity, sticky notes with client deadlines, a wilting succulent from the holiday gift swap, and a framed photo of Chloe and me at our high school graduation, her arms slung around my shoulders. All fake smiles and forced hugs. I deleted her number from my speed dial first thing. No more late-night bailouts for her credit card debts or cover stories for her boyfriend's jealous rages. By lunch, the shakes had worn off, replaced by a cold clarity. I needed proof. In my past life, or whatever the hell you call the one that got me killed, I'd pieced it together too late. Chloe's boyfriend, Tyler, that sleazy real estate broker with the bleached teeth and crypto scams, had been feeding her lines about cutting ties to the dead weight.
Me.
And Dad's death? Not a heart attack. I'd found the autopsy report buried in Mom's old files. Toxicology screaming opioids and fentanyl. Chloe had access to his pill stash. She'd been the one helping him manage his pain after the mill accident. She'd dosed him heavy that night, staged it as an overdose to cash in on the life insurance. I'd taken the fall, lying to the cops about his struggles to protect her, because that's what big sisters do. Stupid. Loyal to a fault.
Now.
Reborn, or whatever this curse was. I wouldn't. I clocked out early. Drove to the storage unit in Kent where Mom's boxes moldered. Rain pelted the windshield. A grim echo of that fatal night. Inside, amid yellowed tax returns and Christmas ornaments, I unearthed the file. Dad's death certificate. The insurance payout logs. Chloe's name. Forged signature. $750,000 wired to an account in her name. And a note in Mom's shaky hand. Penny, if anything happens to me, watch your sister. She's not like us. Back home, I poured a whiskey neat from the bottle Dad kept hidden and sat at my kitchen table, the city lights smearing across the window like accusations. Chloe texted, "Hey sis, brunch this weekend? Miss you." Two hearts. I stared at it, fingers hovering over reply. In the old timeline, I'd said yes, driven her to the airport after, and that's when she'd slipped the anonymous call to emergency services, misdirecting them by 20 minutes. Enough time for me to bleed out. This time, I typed, "Sure. Pick you up at 10. Then I deleted it. Blocked her. Step 1. Isolate the snake. Step 2. Uncoil and strike. The next few weeks blurred into a fever dream of reconnaissance. I quit my job, screwed the 2-week notice, and cashed out my 401k. A measly $12,000 that felt like blood money now. Moved to a cheap motel off Aurora Avenue. The kind where hookers and truckers swap stories over lukewarm coffee. From there, I tailed Chloe. She was living large in my old Bellevue house, the one I'd paid the mortgage on while she found herself at UW. Parties every weekend. Tyler's Porsche in the driveway. Her Instagram a parade of brunches and boutique hauls. Blessed. My ass. One night, parked in the shadows across the street, I watched her through binoculars. She was on the deck, phone to her ear, laughing that tinkling laugh that always grated like nails on chalkboard.
Yeah.
Penny's out of the picture. That crash? Clean as a whistle. No one's digging. Tyler draped an arm around her, nuzzling her neck. They clinked glasses champagne, probably from the payout. Rage boiled in my veins, hot and viscous. But I waited. Revenge isn't a sprint, it's a marathon of misery. I started small. Anonymous emails to Tyler's clients, forwarding screenshots of his offshore accounts. Whispers to Chloe's sorority sisters about her sticky fingers with dues money. Nothing lethal, just erosion. She texted me sporadically. "Where are you? Mom's stuff is piling up." I ghosted her. Let the silence fester. In the mirror, my reflection sharpened, hair cropped short, dye job to auburn, contacts turning my eyes hazel. Penelope Hayes was dead. Eliza Crow was rising, a ghost with a grudge. By the end of the first month, Chloe was unraveling. A sorority expulsion hearing, Tyler's business tanking from bad press. She called from a blocked number, voice slurry with wine. "Penny? What the fuck? Come home." I hung up, heart pounding with dark triumph. But doubt crept in at night, whiskey-fueled what-ifs. Was I becoming her? The betrayer?
No.
This was justice. American style. Cutthroat. Calculated. No room for mercy. The hooks sank deeper when I found the safe. Back in the house, I'd picked the lock one night while they were out. I cracked the wall safe behind Dad's old fishing photo. Inside, Chloe's diary. Leather-bound and damning. Entries from years back. Penny's so blind. Dad's pills are easy money. She'll cover for me. Like always. And the kicker? Dated the week of my crash. Tyler's right. Insurance on her car policy covers us both. One little call. And we're free.
God.
I hope she gets in an accident tonight. I photocopied every page. Stashed the originals. The plan crystallized. Expose her. But make it hurt. Not the cops, they'd bungle it. Plea deals and slaps on the wrist.
No.
This needed spectacle. A reckoning in the court of public opinion, where scandals bloom like Seattle evergreens in the gloom. As the second month dawned, I reached out to a PI, a grizzled ex-cop named Harlan who'd lost his badge to internal affairs bullshit. Cash up front. No questions. He dug Chloe's trail of petty frauds, from faked student loans to identity theft on mom's credit. Tyler's Ponzi ties to a cartel-light operation in Tacoma. And the thread pulling it all, Chloe's obsession with our family's legacy, the Hayes lumber fortune Dad squandered. Leaving scraps. She'd kill for more. Hell, she had. Harlan warned me. This road's one way.
Kid.
You sure? I nodded, tasting bile. She took everything. Time to collect. That night, alone in the motel with rain drumming the roof like impatient fingers, I made the first call. Not to Chloe, to a reporter at The Stranger, Seattle's alt weekly that thrived on corruption exposés. I have a story, I said, voice steady as rebar. Family betrayal. Murder for hire. The works. But it's gotta run big front page. No holds barred. The line crackled. Who's this? Eliza. And, trust me, you'll want the byline. The Stranger's offices smelled like stale takeout and desperation. The kind that fuels late-night deadlines in a city where tech bros sip lattes while the rest scrape by. I met Lena Voss in a back booth at a dive bar off Capitol Hill, nursing a gin and tonic to steady my nerves. She was mid-40s, sharp as a switchblade, with tattoos peeking from her sleeves and eyes that dissected you like autopsy reports. I'd sent her the diary scans anonymously first, bait on a hook. She bit. Penelope Hayes, she said, sliding the prints back across the scarred table. Or should I say Eliza Crow? Cute alias. But this? She tapped the page with Chloe's confession. This is dynamite. Motive. Means opportunity. You got audio? Witnesses. I shook my head, sipping slow. Not yet. But I can get you inside the house. Tonight. Her eyebrow arched. You're not just some disgruntled sibling. This reeks of payback. What's your angle?
Survival, I lied.
The word tasting like ash. Truth was, every fiber screamed for Chloe to feel the isolation I'd known in that twisted metal coffin. Sirens too late. Her voice a poison whisper in my ear. But Lena didn't need my ghost story. She needed scoops. We hashed a plan. I'd plant a bug in the living room. Stream to her laptop. In exchange, a teaser piece drops tomorrow, vague enough to rattle cages. Specific enough to draw blood. Back at the house by midnight. Gloves on. Heart in my throat. Chloe and Tyler were out, some gala for his failing brokerage, schmoozing marks and tuxes that screamed midlife denial. I moved like a shadow, slipping the nanny cam behind a bookshelf, its lens winking like a conspirator's eye. Synced to my burner phone via app. Feed crystal in the dim light. I lingered in the kitchen, tracing the island counter where I'd overheard her damnation in my dying haze. The fridge hummed, mocking. I pocketed a bottle of her Ativan, prescribed for anxiety, but I knew better. Leverage. The article hit at dawn. Bellevue heiress and inheritance scandal? Anonymous sources allege fraud in family deaths. No names, but the details screamed haze. Chloe's text blew up my burner. WTF is this? You behind it? I let it ring. Watched the feed as she paced, phone to ear. Tyler bellowing about lawsuits.
Babe.
It's probably that bitch from the bank. We'll sue their asses. Her laugh, hysterical now, crackled through the speaker.
No.
It's Penny. I know it. She's alive. Stirring shit. Alive. The word twisted like a knife. In my old life, she'd mourn me publicly. Tears on local news. GoFundMe raking in sympathy cash, while privately toasting my absence.
Now.
Paranoia was her new best friend. Good. I holed up in a new spot. A sublet in Fremont under Eliza's name. Walls papered with news clippings and timelines. Harlan delivered the next payload. Chloe's search history. Subpoenaed through a shady contact. Queries for how to stage car accident, fentanyl overdose symptoms, dated weeks before dad's heart attack. And mom's cancer meds? Tampered vials in a dumpster behind the hospice. Traces of bleach to accelerate the end. Chloe hadn't just betrayed me, she'd hollowed out the family like a termite queen, feasting on grief. Doubt gnawed harder now. Nights blurred into whiskey dreams where I confronted her. Not with evidence. But please, why?
Chloe?
We were all we had. Her reply. Always. You were in the way.
Penny.
Always the martyr. I'd wake sweating, vowing colder resolve. This wasn't about healing, it was excision. The bug paid dividends. Snippets of Chloe unraveling, rants to Tyler about ghosts in the walls, accusations flying. One clip gutted me, her sobbing to a girlfriend. I didn't mean for Dad to die like that. The pills. It was an accident. But Penny? She deserved it. Always judging. Always better.
Deserved it.
For what? Loving her through shoplifted prom dresses. Fake IDs. The abortion she swore me to secrecy on? I'd held her hair back in ER bathrooms. Covered tuition shortfalls from my own paycheck. Betrayal's sting deepened, laced with the venom of blood ties. I escalated. Mailed copies of the diary to Tyler's parole officer. Turns out, his juvie record for assault was sealed. But not anymore. He got hauled in for questioning on fraud. Released on bail but radioactive to clients. Chloe bailed him out. Maxing a credit card in my old name, ironic.
That.
She texted the block number. If this is you, stop. Or I'll make you regret it. I screenshotted. Added to the file. Lena called midweek. Your sister's cracking. Dropped by the house. Claims identity theft. But the public's buzzing. Podcast invites rolling in. Her voice held glee. The hunter's thrill. You ready for phase 2? Names go public next. Not yet. I needed the kill shot. Harlan tailed her to a clinic in Tacoma. Abortion follow-up. No. A consult for cosmetic surgery. Fixing the haze nose, he grunted over the phone. Thinks a new face hides her sins. Vanity. The Hayes curse. Dad had it. Blowing fortunes on toupees and mistresses, Mom drowned hers in denial. That's when the first threat came. My sublet door kicked in at 2 a.m., splintered wood scattering like confetti from hell. No one there, but a note on the mat, "Stay dead." Chloe's handwriting. That loopy cursive from our shared journals. Fear spiked, adrenaline chasing sleep away. I packed. Moved to a safe house Harlan knew, a cabin off Lake Washington. Rented to ghosts like me. Isolation bred clarity. I pored over Mom's note again. Watch your sister. What had she known? Digging deeper, I uncovered the root rot. Grandpa Hayes. The lumber baron who'd built the fortune on exploited loggers. Underpaid immigrants. Environmental fuckery that poisoned half the Snohomish River. Dad inherited the guilt. Drank it down, Chloe. The greed. Weaponized it. I'd been the buffer. The one who volunteered at cleanups. Donated to tribes. Trying to atone for sins not mine. Chloe saw it as weakness. The cabin's quiet amplified my ghosts. One night, storm raging outside, I called Harlan. Get me into her inner circle. A fake identity. Close enough to sniff out the rest. Risky.
Kid.
She's paranoid. So am I. Rebirth's gift. No fear left to lose. He hooked me up as Mia Reynolds, a trust fund dropout with a fabricated backstory, rich kid slumming it in Seattle's art scene. I dyed my hair blonde, contacts blue, voice pitched breathy. Crashed a gallery opening in Pioneer Square where Chloe was networking for Tyler's rehabbed image. She was there, red dress clinging like regret, eyes darting like a cornered fox. We met over cheap Merlot. Love your vibe, I gushed, channeling every sorority girl I despised. Chloe, right? Saw your Insta, total goals. Her smile was brittle china. Thanks. You?
Mia.
New in town. Heard about your families. Drama? I let it hang.
Bait.
She stiffened, then laughed too loud. Family's a bitch. Sisters, especially. Mine ghosted, probably jealous. Harsh. Mine tried to drown me once. Water under the bridge. Lies. But they bonded us in faux trauma. By night's end, I had her number. An invite to girls' night at the house. Infiltration achieved. The feed from the bug showed her post-drink debrief with Tyler. Mia's cool. Connected. Might help with the press shit. He grunted skepticism, but she waved it off. Trust me. We're turning this around.
Oh. Sis.
You have no idea. As Mia, I wormed deeper. Brunch at Salumi, where she spilled half-truths over prosciutto. Penny was always the good one. But she hid things, Dad's affairs. Mom's pills. I just cleaned up. Projection.
Pure.
I nodded sympathetically, recording every word on a hidden app. Tyler warmed slower, eyes lingering too long on my cleavage during poolside hangs. Sleaze. One afternoon, while Chloe napped off mimosas, he cornered me in the guest house. Heard you're loaded. Ever invest in real estate? His hand on my knee, breath hot with entitlement. I twisted away, smile venomous. Only in revenge porn. Yours, specifically. Bluff. But it landed. He backed off.
Pale.
That night, the feed captured their fight. Accusations. Slaps his on her cheek, audio crackling with impact. Fucking Mia? You think she's clean? Chloe sobbed. She's better than your whores. Fractures widening.
Perfect.
But cracks in my armor showed too. A slip, calling her Chloe Bear, our childhood nickname. She froze mid-sentence, eyes narrowing. How'd you know that? Stalker fan, I quipped, heart slamming. She bought it, laughed uneasily. Close call. Lena's next piece loomed, but I delayed. Needed the full confession. Harlan uncovered more. Chloe's burner phone pings to a fixer in Renton. The one who'd adjusted my crash site, moved debris to mimic a solo swerve. $5,000 wired. Manslaughter for hire. Rage crystallized into resolve. Girls' night too. Wine flowing. I steered talk to regrets. Ever wish you could redo a mistake? Like, big one. She drained her glass. Eyes glassy. All the time. Like, hurting someone you love. For money.
Pause.
Then the dam. My sister. I wished her gone. And she did crashed. But now it's haunting me. Haunting. I leaned in. Voice soft. Tell me. Words tumbled. The pills in Dad's scotch. The bleach in Mom's foreport, she was suffering anyway. The call to dispatch during my drive. I just wanted the house. Freedom. Penny always lorded it. I'll take care of everything. Fuck her. I hit record. Hidden in my purse. Gold. The confession burned in my pocket like a live coal as I drove away from the house. Tires humming a dirge on the rain-slicked streets. Chloe's words looped in my head. A toxic mantra. Fuck her.
Me.
The sister who'd forged her report card. Bribed her prom date's parents after the weed bust. Sold my car to fund her fresh start in college. All for a girl who'd trade blood for a mortgage-free McMansion and a sugar daddy's lies. I pulled over at Gasworks Park. The skeletal towers looming like rusted sentinels under sodium lights. And vomited into the weeds. Not from booze, though the wine soured in my gut, but from the raw calculus of betrayal. Family wasn't sacred, it was a scam. American as apple pie laced with arsenic. Back at the cabin, I uploaded the audio to an encrypted drive, shared with Lena and Harlan. Her reply pinged instant. Holy shit. This indicts her on conspiracy. You okay? Okay? I was a wire pulled taut, fraying at the edges. Sleep evaded. Replaced by visions of alternate lives, Chloe and I splitting the inheritance fare. Road tripping the Pacific Coast Highway. Laughing over bad karaoke in dive bars. Bullshit nostalgia. Rebirth had stripped the rose tint. All that remained was the thorn. Phase 3. Weaponize the truth. But controversy loomed, exposing her meant dredging Dad and Mom's graves. Painting our family as a cesspool of greed and neglect. Neighbors who'd baked casseroles for Mom's funeral would whisper, white trash behind manicure hands. The media circus? Lena promised saturation coverage. But I'd be collateral, the vengeful ghost sister. Unhinged, maybe even sued for defamation if Tyler's lawyers spun it right. Controversial decisions ahead. Do I redact Mom's involvement? Spare her memory? Or burn it all? Let the public devour the rot? I chose fire. Partial mercy felt like weakness. The same flaw that got me killed. Next morning, I met Harlan at a Denny's off I-405. Booths sticky with syrup ghosts. He slid a dossier across. Tyler's cartel links firmer than suspected. Small-time laundering through his flips. But enough for feds if tipped. You want him vanished?
His eyes.
Watery blue. Held no judgment. Tempting. I traced the photos. Him grinning at a yacht party. Chloe arm in arm. Oblivious or complicit. But no. Let him rot in Gen Pop. Chloe first. He nodded. Slurped coffee. Got a contact at SPD.
Vice.
They'll bite on the fraud angle. Loop in homicide if you leak the audio. Leak how? Anonymous drop. But you'll need deniability. Frame it as a whistleblower, disgruntled ex. I agreed. But my gut twisted. Deniability meant more lies. Deeper into the moral gray. Was I avenging or authoring my own fall? Whiskey whispered yes. Silence screamed no. As Mia, I played the long game. Insta DMs turned to coffee dates. Where Chloe vented spleen, Tyler's impotence under stress, useless prick. The house's mounting liens, Penny's fault, she hoarded the deeds. I nodded. Cooed. Collected crumbs for the pyre. One slip, she mentioned the safe. Hid some papers there. Old family shit. Don't tell. Secrets are hot, I purred, filing it away. That night. Solo entry. Lockpick smoother now, and I photographed the contents. Forged wills. Dad's suicide note, planted. Per Harlan's graphologist. Mom's donation to Chloe's tuition, siphoned from hospice funds. The noose tightened. Public pressure mounted. Lena's second piece dropped. Echoes of fraud. Hayes family's dark legacy. Vague on names. But photos of the house. Blurred figures on the deck. Chloe's socials went dark. Tyler's listings tanked. Buyers spooked by haunted rumors. She called Mia frantic. It's everywhere. Someone's targeting us. Meet. We did her favorite spa in Kirkland. Steam room fog like confessionals. Towel wrapped. She spilled. I think it's her.
Penny. She's not dead.
I feel it. Paranoia peaked. Eyes wild. What if she knows? Knows what? I pressed. Heart thunderous. About. Everything. The crash. I called wrong, on purpose. To buy time. Her voice cracked. Tears mixing with sweat. But she was speeding. Drunk maybe. Not all me. Drunk? In my memory. The breathalyzer read 0.
Lie.
To salve her soul. I feigned shock. Jesus.
Chloe.
That's murder. She clutched my arm. Nails digging. Don't say that. Help me. Make it go away. The irony burned. Help, like I'd begged her during Dad's services. Her arm limp around my shoulders.
How?
Disappear it. The evidence. Tyler says, lawyers. But I need.
Out.
Her plea hung. A lifeline to hell. I pulled away. I can't. That's on you. Her face crumpled. Betrayal's mirror. Who are you? The mask slipped. I stood. Robe falling open. Revealing the scar on my knee, the hiking one she'd mocked as Klut's mark. Your sister. You treacherous bitch. She gasped, scrambling back. Penny? No. I bolted, leaving her shrieking for security. The spa's alarm wailed as I peeled out. Burner tossed in the lake. Endgame accelerated. Harlan's tip to SPD landed that afternoon. Audio package. Anonymous. By evening, cruisers swarmed the house. I watched from a coffee shop. Laptop feed pirated from a neighbor's ring. Chloe in cuffs. Mascara rivers. screaming, "It's a setup." Tyler zip-tied beside, face ashen. Reporters swarmed like locusts, Lena front and center. Mike thrust, MS.
Hayes.
Any comment on the allegations of fratricide? Chloe spat. My sister's a liar. She's framing me for her own guilt. The twist of her words, accusing me of my own murder, ignited fury. But triumph soured. Mom's memory tarnished in the headlines. Cancer victims mercy killing? Dad's suicide dissected on talk radio. Our childhood home, site of Easter egg hunts and midnight confessions. Now, a crime scene tent. I drove aimlessly. Radio blaring Kexp's grunge set, Nirvana's Wail a soundtrack to my unraveling. Controversy crashed. Online forums lit up. Justice for Chloe trending among true crime ghouls. Victim blaming much? Big Sis probably drove her to it. My alias trended too. Mia unmasked via spa CCTV. Speculation rife. Lover? Accomplice? Harlan called. Fed circling. Lay low.
Low?
I was subterranean. Drowning in what-ifs. Had exposure healed or hemorrhaged? Chloe's arraignment loomed. Murder won. Conspiracy.
Fraud.
Bail denied. She'd rot in King County till trial. Tyler flipped quick. Plea for immunity. Spilling on the fixer. Cartel ripples hit news. Raids in Tacoma. Bodies in the sound. But sleep brought dreams of her in juvie. 14 and tearful after shoplifting. Don't tell.
Penny.
Promise. I'd promised. Loyalty's noose. Decision point. Testify? Or vanish? Let the system grind? The former meant courtrooms. Cross-exams peeling my scars bare. MS. Hayes. Your sister's claims of abuse, your control over family finances? I'd shatter under scrutiny. The vengeful harpy they painted. Vanish? Cowardice. Unfinished. I chose the stage. Subpoena arrived like fate's middle finger. Testimony prep with Lena. Stick to facts. Emotions sells, but don't crack. Trial week. Seattle sweltered unseasonably. Humidity thick as judgment. Courthouse steps mobbed, activists with signs, and family violence versus justice for victims. Inside, the gallery hummed. Distant cousins, sorority ghosts, Tyler in witness protection drag. Chloe entered, orange jumpsuit swallowing her frame, hair limp. Our eyes met, hers feral, mine steel. No sisterly nod, just the chasm. Prosecution opened strong. Audio plays, diary excerpts, timelines converging like new snots. Expert on the crash. Dispatch log shows misroute. Intentional delay. Jury leaned in. Faces grim. Defense countered vicious. Penelope Hayes. The architect of chaos. Abusive control. Financial domination. Chloe acted in fear. They paraded shrinks. Twisted my help into manipulation. She isolated Chloe from friends. Funneled money, classic narcissist, gaslight, amplified. I gripped the stand's edge.
Knuckles bone white.
The courtroom air hung heavy with recycled lies and the faint tang of fierce sweat, like a gym locker after a brawl. I took the stand mid-morning. Third day of Chloe's trial. The wooden box feeling less like justice's throne and more like an electric chair with better upholstery. The judge, a stern woman with silver-streaked hair and eyes like agate, peered over her glasses. State your name for the record. Penelope Hayes. My voice echoed. Steady, but laced with the gravel of too many unslept nights. The gallery shifted, murmurs rippling like wind through dry grass. Chloe sat at defense table, flanked by her shark of a lawyer, a Botoxed barracuda named Kessler. She didn't look at me, her gaze fixed on her shackled hands, nails bitten to bloody crescents. Prosecutor Reyes, a no-nonsense Latina in tailored navy, approached slow, building tension like a thriller director. Ms. Hayes, describe your relationship with the defendant. Sister. Simple word. Seismic weight. Big sister. Protector. Until she decided I was the enemy. Objection overruled, sustained on irrelevance. But the seed planted. Reyes walked me through the timeline. Dad's death. My confession to cops about his addictions to shield Chloe. Mom's final days. My crash. Exhibits flashed on screens, texts, payout stubs. The audio of her wine-loose admissions to Mia. Gasps punctuated the playback. Chloe's voice. Slurred but unmistakable. I called wrong. On purpose. Kessler cross-examined like a surgeon with a grudge. Ms. Hayes, you admit to forging documents? Covering up your father's substance abuse. To protect my family.
Truth.
Half told. I'd burned the real evidence once. Ashes in the fireplace. Thinking mercy mends. And your sister, didn't you control her? Bank accounts. Boyfriends vetted like security clearances. I leaned forward, mic catching the edge in my tone. Control? I enabled. Bailed her out of DUIs.
Debts.
Dramas. Love's a bad habit. Snickers from the back, true crime tourists munching smuggled snacks. But Kessler pressed, and after your miraculous recovery from the coma? Objection. Speculative. Reyes on her feet.
Sustained.
But the damage, my rebirth. The coma cover Harlan fabricated, car crash survival. Amnesia faint. Now fodder for doubt. Jurors whispered, miracle or manipulation. Recess called. In the hall, Lena cornered me. You're gold. But watch the rage. It's catnip for them.
Rage.
It simmered. A pot left too long on high. Back home, the cabin now felt like a bunker. I paced, replaying Kessler's jabs. Controversial call. Leak more? Tyler's immunity deal included a side statement. Chloe's pillow talk on finishing Penny off post-crash. Fearing exposure. Prosecutors held it back. Fearing taint. I didn't. Anonymous email to a juror contact Harlan ID'd. Subtle. A PDF drop. Ethics?
Fucked.
But justice in America isn't pure. It's poker. All bluffs and backroom deals. Trial dragged into week 2. Seattle's brief heat wave breaking into drizzle that mirrored the mood. Expert witnesses piled on. Toxicologist on Dad's spiked blood work. Accident reconstructionist diagramming my swerve, no alcohol. No fault but the call. Chloe took the stand. A masterclass in crocodile tears. Penny was jealous. Always. Dad loved me more. Mom confided in her out of pity. The crash? I prayed for her safety. That call was panic, not malice. Lies. Layered thick. But her eyes, pleading across the room, stirred the old ache. Flashback. Us at 10 and 6. Building forts in the backyard. Whispering dreams of escaping Dad's rages. Had that girl died with him? Or morphed into this viper? Kessler spun the twist. Your Honor. We moved to introduce evidence of Penelope Hayes' harassment campaign, stalking. Identity theft as Mia Reynolds. She's the aggressor. Projecting her failures onto a vulnerable young woman. Objection. Sidebar frenzy. Judge's gavel cracked like thunder. Approach denied for now. But MS.
Haze.
Any further theatrics, and you'll join your sister in custody. Theatrics? My burner buzzed during break. Harlan. Jurily Kit. 12 spooked. Pushing for manslaughter cap. Close. But not enough. High drama peaked closing arguments. Reyes painted Chloe as Lady Macbeth in Lululemon, greed's green-eyed serpent, coiled in the cradle. She didn't just wish her sister harm, she orchestrated it. From pills to pavement. Jury nodded. Faces etched with revulsion. Kessler countered. A family's implosion.
Yes.
But who lit the fuse? Penelope, the puppeteer, pulling strings from beyond the grave. Dramatic pause. Eyes on me. Her revenge isn't justice, it's vendetta. Acquit. Or condemn us all to sibling war. Deliberations started noon Friday. The courthouse emptying like a sinking ship. I waited in a holding room. Coffee cold. Nerves electric. Lena texted updates. Social media ablaze. Chloe guilty versus Free Chloe. Influencers dissecting our toxic dynamic like reality TV. One viral thread. Penelope's the real villain. Millennial burnout weaponized.
Ouch.
Truth's mirror cracks under scrutiny. Hours stretched to dusk. Harlan arrived. Grizzled face grim. Word from inside. Hung jury brewing. 12 wants leniency. Abuse cycle.
Fuck.
My leak backfired? Or Kessler's gaslight stuck? Decision loomed. Controversial as hell. Intervene direct. Bribe? No. To cartel.
Confront?
Insanity plea bait. Verdict at 8 p.m. Guilty on fraud. Conspiracy. Manslaughter. Not murder. Sentencing. 15 to 20. Eligible parole in 7. Gavel fell. Chloe wailed. Dragged away. Our eyes locked. Hers hatred. Mine hollow victory. Tyler. In shadows. Smirked, his deal intact. Free to slither. Outside. Rain lashed. Reporters mobbing. MS.
Haze.
Vindicated. Flashbulbs blinded. I pushed through. Voice raw. Justice? It's a band-aid on a bullet wound. Families forever fractured. Lena's car idled curbside. Drinks? You earned it. Bar was dim. Jazz low. Whiskey burned paths to numbness. Was it worth it? She asked. I swirled ice. Ask the ghosts. News cycle chewed and spat. Chloe's appeal filed. Sob stories in Vanity Fair. The sister I feared. Public split. Feminists decrying sister-on-sister violence. Conservatives crowing personal responsibility. Me? Doxed online. Death threats in DMs. Karma's coming.
Penny.
Harlan up security. I traded the cabin for a high-rise anonymity in Belltown. Walls glass and cold. But payback's aftertaste soured. Dreams now of Chloe in stripes. But not broken plotting. Like me. A letter arrived. Contraband via lawyer. You won the war. But lost us. Rot in your victory, sis.
Love. See.
Love. The word mocked. Controversial truth. I'd mirrored her. Manipulated.
Leet.
Leaked to sway. Rebirth's irony. I became the monster to slay one. Harlan called weeks later. Fixers singing. Cartel wants loose ends. Tyler's ghosting. Chloe's marked inside. Marked. Prison politics. Snitches get stitches. Or worse. Guilt gnawed. My crusade lit the fuse. Do I warn her? Extend mercy's thread?
No.
Let fate's will turn. But doubt festered, a cancer of my own making. Months blurred into a monochrome haze after the trial. Seattle's perpetual gray seeping into my bones like damp rot. The high-rise condo, sterile white walls, view of the Sound mocking with its deceptive calm, felt less sanctuary, more cage. I'd cash the remainder of the insurance scraps. Enough for therapy sessions I skipped and takeout that tasted like cardboard. Work, freelance ghostwriting for true crime blogs. Ironic penance, spinning strangers' betrayals while mine festered unpublished. Lena pitched a book deal, reborn in rage, a sister's reckoning, but I ghosted her too. Words couldn't capture the void, only action had, and its echo rang hollow. Chloe's appeal dragged, tabloids feasting on scraps, leaked psych evals painting her traumatized, me the enabler turned executioner. Public opinion swung pendulum, podcasts humanized her. Abuse begets abuse. While Reddit's r/true crime roasted me as Karen with a grudge. Death threats evolved to fan mail, women demanding solidarity. You slayed. The Queen, alongside manifestos from incels idolizing my cold calc. Controversy's crown. Heavy and tarnished. Harlan checked in monthly, his gravel voice a lifeline. Tyler's vanished, Mexico.
Probably.
Cartel's cleaning house. And Chloe? King County's no picnic. Yard fights. Shank whispers. Your leak made her a rat. Guilt. That insidious worm. Burrowed deeper. Nights. I'd replay the spa confrontation. Her gasp. My scars reveal, like a masochistic reel. Had I pushed too far? The juror tamper. The Kessler cross. Mirrors to my own manipulations. Rebirth promised payback. But delivered a mirror. I was her. Greed cloaked in righteousness. Not for money. But vindication's high. Twist brewed in a manila envelope. Unmarked. Slipped under my door one drizzly Tuesday. Inside. Polaroids, grainy shots of me as Mia. Timestamps from the gallery night. Backed with a note. Typed sterile. We know your secret. The crash wasn't fate.
Meet.
Or it all unravels. Warehouse 7. Fremont. Midnight.
Secret.
Heart stuttered. Who? Cartel? Kessler's ploy? Or worse, Chloe's long arm. From behind bars? Midnight loomed. Rain sheeting the industrial sprawl. Warehouse 7 squatted like a beached whale. Graffiti scars fading under sodium glow. I parked a block out. Harlan's Glock heavy in my coat, borrowed. Unregistered. Another ethical skid. Inside. Echoes amplified drips and shadows. Crates loomed like tombstones. Penny. Voice from the gloom. Familiar.
Oily.
Tyler emerged.
Gaunt.
Stubble silvered. Eyes darting like roaches. You. Disgust curled my lip. Thought Mexico suited you. He smirked. Brittle. Chloe's money runs dry in paradise. Besides. Unfinished business. Gestured to a side door. 2 goons. Cartel, ink peeking from collars. They want the fixer silenced. But first, you. Me? I flipped your house of cards. Not built it. Lies. He paced. Breath ragged. Chloe spilled in letters, your rebirth bullshit. Coma my ass. You knew too much. Too soon. Hacked her phone? Planted the bug?
Nah.
You're in deep, maybe with feds. Maybe worse. Paranoia. Chloe's gift. But the Polaroids, how? Stalker much. Insurance. He lit a smoke. Flame illuminating desperation. Chloe's appeal needs dirt.
On you.
Frame job. You orchestrated Dad's OD. Mom's end. Jealous of her favorite. Crash. Self-harm for sympathy bucks. Insane. But seeds of doubt. Had my help cross lines? Forged signatures. Buried reports.
Gray.
Not black. Join or burn, he pressed. Testify for appeal, perjury fine, and the photos vanish. Cartel cuts you in, 20% skim. Temptation flickered, easy out. Wealth without war. Walk away. Let Chloe simmer. But Rebirth's fire roared no. Fuck your deal. Goons advanced. Adrenaline surged, Glock barked. Warning shot. Sealing rain. Chaos. Tyler Dove. Goons firing wild. Ricochets screaming. I bolted. Leg grazed hot. Blood slicking pavement as I reached the car. Sirens wailed distant. Harlan's alert? Tires spun gravel. I fled south. Hospital ER stitching the wound under alias. Morphine haze birth clarity. Tyler's bluff. But the cartel's real. Chloe's letters? Intercepted. Perhaps her play for alliance. Dawn broke bloody over Tacoma. Harlan met me at a safe house diner. Bandages fresh. Feds looped in. Tyler's pinched at the border. Spilled everything. Chloe's commissary bribes to the fixer. Plots for your disappearance post-trial. Everything. Including my leaks? She's done. He shook head. Twists this. Your sister's pregnant. Tyler's. Appeals leverage. Vulnerable mother angle.
Pregnant.
The word detonated. Flash, her at 14. My hand in hers through the clinic door. Whispering it'll be okay. History's cruel loop. Mercy? Or condemn the child to her sins? Decision crystallized. Controversial to core. Intervene. Not for her, for the unborn Hayes. Innocent in the rot. I called her lawyer. Kessler's associate. Tell Chloe, drop appeal. Full confession. I'll fund the kid's trust, clean money. No strings. Silence. Then, she'll consider. Weeks crawled. Headlines shifted. Chloe's plea, guilty to all. No appeal. Sentencing bumped to life. Maternity wing for birth. Tyler. Extradited. 25 concurrent for laundering. The baby came mid-June. A girl, named Alara. After mom's maiden. Chloe's letter followed. Unfiltered, you win.
Penny.
But hate me? We're the same, survivors clawing scraps. Raise her better. Or don't. Your call. I didn't. Trust funded. Anonymous guardian appointed. Aunt from Dad's side.
Clean.
Visitation?
Denied.
Chloe's request. Severed. Like umbilical truth. Karma's close. Cartel busts rippled. Fixer suicided in cell. Tyler's loose tongue. Harlan retired south. Left me his PI license. Your war.
Kid.
Fight smart.
Now.
Autumn leaves choke the sound's edge. Rebirth's 2nd anniversary. I walk the waterfront. Salt wind scouring scars. Victory?
Pyrrhic.
Family's ash. But mine. Rebuilt solo. Therapy tentative. Freelance thriving on empowerment essays. Controversial end. No tidy bow. Chloe rots. Redeemed in confessions flicker. I wander. Ghost no more. But forever marked. One night. Burner rings, unknown. I answer. Haze. Breath. Infant coo in background. Alara, A social worker says. She needs an aunt.
Pause.
The wheel turns. Send address. I'll be there. Not happy real. American grit. Broken. But bending toward light. Or whatever passes for it in the rain.